Hello everybody, it's your boy Hawka, the Counter-Strike Scholar, back with another video, this time taking a look at how Heroic always get off to a strong start on their opponent's map pick. Okay, I might be slightly exaggerating things in the title, but so far at Katowice, Heroic have got off to strong starts on every single one of their opponent's picks. Against VP, they got off to an 11-1 start on VP's pick of Vertigo. Against Vitality, they got a 7-0 start on Vitality's pick of Inferno. And against OG, they got off to a 9-1 start on OG's pick of Ancient. And in all these maps, they were starting on CT side because they got to pick, but I still think they're doing some cool stuff with their anti-stratting, and just the way they play in general can make teams very uncomfortable on maps that they are normally comfortable on. So, let's get into it and see why Heroic have been getting off to these strong starts. Stronger than me, that's for sure. We'll start with the game against VP, and here in the pistol round, Heroic are leaning slightly more heavily towards B. The initial setup between Refresh and Shush works well, as Refresh is able to get his kill on the hold, and Shush is also able to convert despite being blinded. And then because Tesses was somewhat close by with utility, he can come in and throw a couple of flashes which force VP away, and now they've lost the bomb. From here, Tesses also has a molly, which ends up forcing VP back down to the stairs again, and allows Heroic to fully establish this control. And then as soon as Shush starts taking this fight against Jame, Stown is able to spam him through the wood and follow up with another very quick kill from this strong position he was able to get into because of that earlier utility. I think the first gun round best encapsulates what Heroic are doing so well to make their opponents uncomfortable. You'll see from the start some activity as Cadian and Refresh both grow aggro towards mid and end up doing a bit of damage early, before Heroic fall back into a fairly heavy B-sided stack. This stack is allowed to happen because Tesses is getting all this info towards A ramp with a jump peak, doesn't spot anyone for a while, so they can sit in this setup confidently. And as soon as Tesses gets spotted and forced off of his position, he drops this smoke to feign that there could be more players here. That's a common one way that CTs peek over the top of. But just 10 seconds later, Heroic are now getting active over towards B. Shush throws a smoke in towards B stairs as well as a molly to help Stown gain this control back, and specifically against a slow-paced VP squad, having this early information is so important for making those late round reads. Stown is even able to turn this into a position where he gets the man advantage for Heroic and continues to hold on to that B control alone, while some of his teammates start rotating elsewhere. Shush and Refresh go for this double peek towards mid with the rifle ready to trade, but as soon as they see nothing, they figure it is highly likely that this will end up being an A play, so they go ahead and stack 4 players over to this A site, with Tesses playing super passively, ready to trade his teammates if they stray too far up the site. And the fact that Stown also even pushes through B with such little time remaining means these A players are 100% ready for this play, and that means even after they lose the first 2 kills, they just have so many players here, so many annoying angles, that Tesses is able to get a massive multi-kill, and Cadian's position also goes to his advantage, and they end up closing out this round with beautiful play across the map. I waxed lyrical about that last round for a little too long, but this one is much more straightforward. Refresh somehow sneaks through this smoke as Kicker is pushing up A ramp. I don't know how the hell they sneak past each other here, but it puts Refresh in enemy lines. And again, it goes back to the fact that VP like to play this very late round rotates between the sites. So if you can get into disruptive positions like this, you've got every chance of dropping the bomb, winning the round right there and then. I'm not going to say this was 100% planned ahead of time for Heroic, but still, you have to be willing to make the aggressive plays to get into this position, and it works out nicely. We start out round 6 with the ramp smoke and some aggression from Refresh off the back of it to make sure they keep this control up close. This then gets followed up with another ramp smoke thrown by Cadian from this close position and a nade which does good damage from Refresh to keep this control. But wait, there's more. Heroic have a third ramp smoke up their sleeve, this time with TeSeS throwing it up close. Keep going, Heroic. I'm close. I'm nearly there. And oh, baby, Stavn with a fourth ramp smoke, buying so much time that VP now have 50 seconds left, and they decide they need to do something in this round to get some map control. Walk through this smoke. There's this ratty angle from Refresh on the edge of the sandbags, which gets a freebie onto your Kinder. TeSeS is also allowed to continue to play up close because VP haven't been able to properly control ramp at any point in the round. That means Cadian eventually gets this kill from the side, and now TeSeS can go aggressive, safe in the knowledge that ramp is pretty clear. And because VP never established this map control, they've never been able to play their style of trying to go late round between the bomb sites. And that means despite Buster's best efforts, TeSeS is here too damn quick on the flank to close the round. Here in round 8, we get more heroic aggression. Stavn sets up these flashes, TeSeS goes aggressive from sidewalk so he won't get blinded, and gets a easy kill early, although he is traded. From here, again, Heroic stay active, this time with a double push towards mid, and even though initially Stavn gets picked, Sjuush is so reliable in these spots, and he hunts down this trade kill, and even gets another on top to give Heroic the advantage. And yet again, Buster is trying to lurk through B, but because Heroic are grouping to go for these aggressive plays, he finds no one on the B site, and by the time he's actually able to put his flank to use, Heroic are staying compact enough that they can get this belated trade and stay on top of the situation. And again, just goes to show how Heroic are countering these lurks by staying as compact as possible, and they're throwing all this aggression in there, which is clearly making VP uncomfortable. In this next one, we get a cheeky little bait and switch over towards Sidewalk. Cadian starts walking up as TeSeS is on this boost, and as soon as shots are fired, TeSeS is real quick to make sure he can keep his AWP safe in this scenario. This is actually one of the rounds where Buster's B-lurk pays off though, because Heroic were gambling elsewhere. He finds his timing window onto B, he finds a free entry and the bomb site, so in theory, this looks great for VP. But again, Heroic are happy to brawl. Instead of sitting behind the smokes, Stavn mollies the site, throws a pretty obvious flashbang, while Cadian is also lining up a slightly better flashbang from mid. They go through the smokes and end up getting a nice couple of quick kills. You can see how from Buster's POV, once he dodges this first flash, he thinks he's safe to peek. He doesn't expect a second to come, and it full blinds him. And this all-out aggression is something VP weren't expecting and couldn't handle in this scenario, as they are not allowed to set up in their post-plant comfortably. Let's switch to Inferno versus Vitality, which starts out with some good old-fashioned heroic aggression. Sjuush flashes second mid, Refresh tries to take the fight early, and while he can't get a kill, he stalls Vitality long enough for his teammates to push apartments. TeSeS lands a nice flick shot to keep his teammates Stavn covered on the backside, and then Stavn ends this round looking so crispy, and I am so excited to see what Stavn can do this year. Remember, this guy is only 19 years old. He's just been around the scene for a while, so I think he can become that real standout player that Heroic are looking for, especially if he keeps landing shots like this. Oh, and in case you wanted more Stavn highlights, this first gun round should quench your thirst nicely. It actually starts out pretty poorly for Heroic, as Stavn accidentally throws his molly into the back of Cadian as Cadian was jumping, and this messes up the timing completely as Cadian's peak gets slowed down so that it's not synced with the flash from TeSeS, so it ends up being a poor fight for Cadian that he just can't win. But Stavn certainly makes up for it in this round. Heroic decide to stack 3A, Stavn has to play solo B. Once Stavn starts getting the info, his teammates are close in top mid, so they can flank quite quickly, but that's not even really needed in this round, as Stavn just goes crazy with some of these shots. Apparently he's an AWPer too, which is nice for Heroic, that he can just do this on the side. And I've also got to say, he's doing it against Vitality, a top team with a lot of skilled players. That is a crazy impressive round to put on the board. Into the next one, we get more of this very active style of play from Heroic. They dump a bunch of nades on Banana early, and then rotate 4 players back to A, while leaving Stown with some extra utility, so he can hopefully delay and keep pressure towards that B side. This top mid stack doesn't work out perfectly though. They get the first kill, but unfortunately can only make it a 1-for-1. And then I love the idea of Cadian scoping in on Arch towards long to give the sound cue away, and then just rotating to B to try and make Vitality scared of hitting this A site. But Vitality don't fall for it. They take the long control. Magus lands an incredible shot which should win the round. And yet again, Heroic have an individual step up. This time Tesses with a big multi-kill, just showing the consistency across the board in the firepower of this Heroic squad. And finally, we'll take a look at Ancient versus OG. The pistol starts with Tesses jiggle peeking ramp for info, while Cadian has a flash at the ready. But upon hearing the steps, Tesses actually just swings dry for the first fight, and then waits for the flash for the second fight. Again, slowing OG down on this pistol, which they've done in all 3 of these games. Stown waiting at Cubby gets an easy kill for himself, and it's another pistol round converted, and Heroic just seem to have a knack of making these look easy. Something that's important to note is the aggression isn't always as effective for Heroic. Here in this round, for example, against pistols, Cadian gets run boosted. He's able to get the first pick, but then gets a little eager on this second fight, ends up going down. And then Tesses is also playing a somewhat exposed angle over on B as an off angle out in the open, but that gives OG the chance to trade him, so it turns into this 3v3. The upside for Heroic, though, is they have no weak link on this squad. Everyone is solid, and so as Refresh rotates over, he can get 1 kill, make sure he now just survives, and the longer he lives, the more he knows OG have to do something, and once he hears the bomb plant, he can clean it up. There's another example of one of these contingency plans a little later, where with 30 seconds remaining, Refresh is the only player on the A side of the map, so once he gets picked towards Donut, you think they might be in trouble, but Shush is able to trade from top mid. He also drops the bomb, which helps slow things down, and because Heroic had 2 players stacked in top mid like this, they can respond really quickly over to the A site, and with no nades coming their way, Cadian and Shush have an easy cleanup. So again, they've got those protocols in place whenever something does go wrong. And then in this final round, we see some good B control taken off the back of the early utility. This allows them to rotate an extra player over to A, and they already have the AWP of Cadian holding a long-range angle. So when OG go dry, this is an easy first frag. And Cadian also sets up a nice flash assist over the top for Refresh to get his kill before he gets traded. At this point, OG are running low on nades, so Heroic have everyone rotating into position. Shush starts to get aggressive, and they end up cleaning up a nice and easy retake. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I've got a special recommendation for you over here. And on the other side, YouTube thinks you'll like this video here. Oh, and also, you made it to the end of the video. You probably liked it, so why not subscribe? Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time. See ya!